final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. What is up, chat? How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful weekend. It's playoff weekend, baby. We got hockey, we got NBA, and everything's so hot. MLB's back in season 2. It's been back in season a little bit, but it's been hot. And right now I got on my top screen the last few seconds left of LA Clippers and Dallas Mavericks. Well, the game's probably already over. Now I see 53 seconds still left or so, but the last few seconds over here, hot playoffs weekend. I mean, what's going on with the Toronto Maple Leafs there, man? Oh, jeez. Boston Bruins, one more time, playoffs round 1, and we are doing bad. The Toronto Maple Leafs were down 4-0 in second period, losing this. I think they lost 4-1 in the third. I turned it off after the second period after being down 4-0. Switched over to Devin Haney and the Ryan Garcia boxing match, and boy oh boy, Ryan Garcia actually won that fight. What? No one saw that one coming. That was insane. But Ryan Garcia won that fight. That was monstrous. Formula 1, Lewis Hamilton coming second in the sprint, and then obviously the race was a whole different deal. The sprint was possibly because of the rain. Well, not possibly, it was because of the rain. Lewis Hamilton was able to clutch up the second seed. But the race not going so well for the Mercedes and the McLaren's fan over there. As you guys can see, I have the McLaren's Lego F1 car right behind me. Actually, it's not bright enough for you guys to see it. Alexa, lights on. There you go, now you should see it. But pretty busy for the sports, guys. Hopefully you guys had some fun besides that. Got to spend some time with your family, friends, whatever it is that you were doing. I actually have my niece over, so I probably won't be spending too much longer on the stream today. So I'm getting off right now. No, I'm joking. This stream's going to be a little bit short stream today. I do have my niece over. I would love to spend some time with her. So we're going to just quickly do a review of everything that's in store for this coming week. We're gonna look at what stocks are reporting earnings, what stocks moved last Friday or going into last week. As an example, the QQQ, the S&P 500 flushed quite a bit. The IWM and the diamonds, the DIA or the DOW, the Dow Jones Industrial, they actually did not flush at all. So the Dow is still green. IWM, which is a small cap, still green. It's just basically a large cap that kind of got beat down quite a bit. Nvidia, semiconductors took quite a bit of a hit on Friday. ARM, AMD, Nvidia, SMCI, all of them pushing the downside. The Bitcoin halving coming to an end now, or should be coming to an end. So now we should have that imbalance between the demand and the supply. The supply being cut lower, the demand should be staying higher. So now there should be an imbalance in the demand, and we should possibly see a little bit of a higher move coming into Bitcoin. So that's something that we're looking forward for. But everything else in store, and be ready for it tomorrow, kinda is what the point of the stream is. So welcome, let's get the party started. Let's take you to the big screen, ladies and gentlemen. Take you to the big screen and show you exactly what's in store for tomorrow's watch list. Not that we're gonna talk about the watch list really, because like I said, this stream is gonna just be a quick little short stream as to what's all in store for all this week that's coming up ahead of us. But what's going on? They're just running down the clock. They're running down the clock. The game is over. LA Clippers win 109, Mavericks 97. They're just running down the clock. But this game is done with. Done. Oh, that should... No, I don't want that to play in the background. Stop. Okay, so this is the watch list that I have for tomorrow. I'm making a little bit of a change. I want to trade more of the Magnificent Seven stocks and so on, and kind of stay away from the boomer positions such as American Express or Procter and Gamble, a lot of which sadly are reporting this week. So I'm gonna have to force myself to stay away from stocks like GM, UPS, GE, and all of them. I'll only be trading stocks that are, you know, really in play, and if they are some of the Magnificent Seven or the higher large cap stocks, especially like Nvidia, AMD, ARM, and so on. So I'm going to be focusing on more of those stocks. So that's why you see at the top of my list, compared to what you guys have been used to seeing, it's Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, Netflix, Tesla, QQQ, SPY, and IW. That's basically all that I'm going to be focusing on for all of next week. I'm not going to be looking at any other stocks beside this, because the market's a little active at the moment, and all of these stocks should give you multiple opportunities, and this is where the real volume is throughout the intraday anyways, right? So I want to look out to see where the opportunities are on these positions. Besides that, we do have some backup names in case we, you know, find some opportunities on American Express, on UAL. American Express into that all-time high after that earnings move that came into it on Friday. Beautiful move to the north side on AXP. UAL, I guess you could call it short squeeze. I don't know if you can really call it a short squeeze or not, but had a monster run up to the north side after earnings. So we're going to continue to keep this one on watch to see if any more fun activity will be presented for us to take advantage of on UAL Airlines. Along with that, as you guys know, we always have that semiconductor basket. I just mentioned not too long ago that Nvidia, AMD, ARM. Do I have ARM here? I might have missed out on ARM. Insert one below ARM. Do I have ARM somewhere else? So let's just add ARM to the watch list. ARM taking a big nosedive on Friday along with the rest of the semiconductor industry, so always on the watch list over there, along with the lovely Bitcoin industry. And we got the DJT and DXYZ. Always love looking where those positions move around to, so we have those on our watch list. But mainly, what's in store for the week coming up ahead? As I said, lots of stocks are reporting earnings. We got a hot earnings season coming right back on board. We get 4 of that every year, so we should be very happy. Right as one earnings season is coming to an end, the next one starts gearing up right as soon as possible with it. So that's amazing. Sadly, Monday, not many stocks that are reporting earnings that we really care about. We do have Verizon. Verizon's probably something that you can trade. Albertson's probably something that you could trade on the moves over here. Cleveland Cliffs is coming out with a report after hours, but mainly it's the middle of the week where we want to really be excited for. That means Monday, maybe you just stand still, you do nothing. If there's opportunities on the semiconductor industry, there's some possible games over there. But in regards to the earnings basket, I'm going to be doing nothing at all with the Monday stocks, because Tuesday we have stocks like Tesla, Visa coming out with the report after hours, Meta on the Wednesday after hours, Boeing pre-market on Wednesday, Microsoft, Alphabet, Intel, Roku, Western Digital, all with reports Thursday after hours. You got couple boomer names over here, but you got a couple oil names, boomer names, whatever you want to call them. With the war situation and everything going on, those stocks should be very much in play. XOM, look at that monster run up to the north side on XOM. CBX probably looking something similar like that, a little bit less of a incline compared to XOM on CBX, but still a good move to the upside. So we're looking to see if these stocks continue going with the whole Iran Israel problem that's going on at the moment in the Middle East. A lot of names for us to keep an eye on, and that just means every single day our watch list and our stream times from Monday to Thursday are going to be that much longer. We're going to be spending a lot of time dissecting the reports on most of these positions, seeing if there is a possible play for us to take advantage of, and then seeing how those opportunities set up in pre-market for us to actually pull off on the day trade. Lot of names over here. This picture is actually tagged in our Discord server, so if you're not in the Discord channel, don't make yourself don't regret by what the hell is going on in my Discord. I have to remove that picture, so what the hell is going on over there? But this is the free Discord, absolutely free, costs $0. We have tons of conversations in here about music and a bunch of random stuff too. You'll see me posting my amazing chess games in here sometimes. We talk about you know, not only trading, about all things in general, but what I wanted to show you is the market prep area where, you know, myself and a bunch of other moderators, we make sure that this area stays up to date every single time. You have the calendar posted in there every single day. I post the economic calendar. If there's any IPOs coming up, usually we highlight those IPOs. So basically it's your personal watch list, this Discord server. We also have automated tools such as the stocks that get halted automatically get posted in here, so you can kind of have an alert system, automatic alert system for news channels such as CNBC alerts, CNBC earnings, seeking alpha. I'm going to add financial juice integration to it very soon. So a lot of things over here are going to get you know, this is just the beginning. We're going to have a lot more in the future as the community and the server keeps growing. So come join us and have these amazing trading conversations that we do in here in the Discord server. All you have to do is type in !Discord or go check out the links below in the description. Now that I've talked about the Discord, talked about this economic earning calendar, let's show you the economic calendar for tomorrow. The economic calendar for tomorrow is sadly absolutely dead. We got nothing. Chicago Fed at 8:30, a one-star event. The 3-month bill, I've told you guys this multiple times, right? The 20 year, the 30 year, the 10 year, those are a little bit more important than the smaller time periods. So 3 months, 6 months bill, not really important at all. One-star event, but if they come out a little crazy with especially how the markets are moving and the interest rates are being questioned again. Speaking of the interest rates being questioned again, we should probably go check out the CME tool, but nothing really happening on the economic calendar for tomorrow, Monday, April 22nd, 2024. We're starting the final week of April, although there's 2 more days in the next week for April, but this is technically the final week of April. So we'll see if April can end with a nice little bang. So far we are green on the month, so we're waiting to see if we can end the month with a nice bang, add to the P&L a little bit, especially with all these craziness volume that's coming in the stock market, with the markets flushing, with the large cap stocks flushing, giving you wonderful short opportunities. Maybe they give you some bounce long opportunities. So waiting for all type of events over here on the market. I wanted to see what the Chicago Fed tool is now indicating for possible interest rate decisions. We're still getting a hold at the same rate, no cut for the 1st of May. Let's see what June is being predicted as. June is still not being predicted as we're gonna get a cut in June. July, we're getting a little bit of a prediction that we're gonna maybe get a cut in July, a 36% chance that we might get a cut in July, but right now that's a pretty low chance. Looks like September might be when we actually start seeing the scales tilt a little bit towards that first rate cut. So a little bit later, and not that many FOMC days left, not that many interest rate decisions days left over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days left, and 1st of May, which is only 2 weeks out, we already see that the decisions for that one not really looking that bright. Interest rates looking to be continued to be held a little bit longer. So FOMC not helping out the market at the moment. Well, should I say, yeah, FOMC, the committee, Federal Open Market Committee. I think that's what it stands for. Federal Open Market Committee. I knew I read it somewhere. Okay. Still waiting to see if FOMC can help us with the interest rates. But right now, they are scaring the markets, sadly. They are scaring the markets. We've had a bunch of FOMC members come out and mention that they're not actually seeing the right decisions happen in the market, seeing the right key metrics take place. They're worried about the interest rates being a problem still. Sorry, inflation being a problem still. This purple line that you're seeing is the not the 52 week, but the year-to-date anchor VWAP, and that one's already, we're under it. I think for the SPY, we're also under the, yeah, we are under the, did I just see my lights flash? I do see my lights flash. You look nothing like James Harden. What? Right now or in that picture? Are you saying right now or in that picture? Because right now, I'm working on my beard, okay? I'm working on my beard. I'm not there yet. I'll get there eventually. But in that picture, that is a good face swap. Are you kidding me? Can we find the real picture? Let's find the real picture. James Harden today popped off. Ladies and gentlemen, James Harden today absolutely popped off. What a beast. That's not the one. Where's my latest thumbnail, dog? Shouldn't this be there? Why is it that? What? Hello? How do I sort this by date? Yeah, I'll worry about it later. Anyways, this is the picture I need. Okay, look.
You look nothing like James Harden.
That's a pretty good face swap. This is the original. That's a damn good face swap. If that's what you mean, that I don't look like James Harden. James Harden today popped off, dude. This music feels a little loud. James Harden, what did I just open? What did I just open? Mozilla Firefox? Why did Mozilla Firefox just open? I wanted to show you this. Where's James Harden scores? Look at this. My boy James Harden, 28 points, 6 3-pointers, 6 for 6 free throws, 8 for 17 field goals, 8 assists, 2 rebounds, popped off. Absolutely snapped. Let's take, for example, Luka. 4 for 12 3-pointers, 7 out of 8 free throws, missing free throws, sucked for half the game, played 42 minutes compared to 39 minutes, right? Sucked for half the game. At the end of the day, whatever, 33 points. I needed 2 more points and 2 more threes from him, and I would have made a good chunk of money today. But sadly, nope, does not want to give it to me.
You look nothing like James Harden.
We got 2 more games. It's playoff season, ladies and gentlemen. It's playoff season. Babyface James Harden. James Harden popping off at the moment, man. Popping off. What a guy. I love James Harden. You guys know that. Harden's my guy. Harden's my guy. But right now, QQQ and SPY, we need them to be our guy. Or is market have a gender? Do we call it her? Do we call SPY her and QQQ him? I don't know. I guess we shouldn't be assuming their gender with the current day and age that we're in at the moment, huh? Shouldn't be assuming the gender. That's very cancelable. I apologize, SPY. I apologize, QQQ, for assuming the gender at the moment. But overall, yeah, guys, look at the moves on the market, right? Big down move initiated not too long ago on the Qs, on the SPYs also. IWM at the moment holding off. Nice little green day on IWM, not really flushing too far to the downside. Dow Jones Industrial also holding up pretty well, only up 0.5%, but better than being red compared to being S&P 500 red, which is almost 1%, and compared to being QQQ red, which is almost 2%. The markets are flushing a little bit, but waiting to see if that changes tomorrow, because tomorrow we don't really have any big economic calendar reasons for the market to bounce, with earnings with big names such as Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Intel soon coming out with their earnings report. They're basically the market, right? They are the top 50% names of the market. If they come out with good earnings report and they start popping up, maybe the market could start reversing a little bit to the north side. So watching to see how these reports really help the market, or are they going to break the market, really stuff it to the downside. So I'm going to quickly shuffle through some of the names over here on my watch list today to show you what's been happening for the last week or so. Apple took out that beautiful last week bottom that we were looking for. I shouldn't say last week because this is the last week bottom, but Apple took out that beautiful bottom near 167 to 170 area. Now we're playing near 165, 164, so looking for a continuation to the downside. If QQQ can take it, if QQQ can continue going down, or if Apple can recover with it. Amazon kind of should look a little bit similar to QQQ, because Amazon was near all-time highs along with the QQQ. So Amazon right now pulling back into the anchored VWAP from earnings, waiting to see if it can show some support off of that anchored VWAP or not. Looking a lot similar like what Meta looks like, right? Here's the Meta chart. Meta has been bouncing off of its earnings anchored VWAP for quite some time, now pulling back, most likely getting ready to turn around from that and go back down, especially if the QQQ can stuff it. But Meta has shown some support a little bit lower under where it currently is before, so we got some levels on Meta to still play with, and same with Amazon. We got some levels over here for us to play with, so watching how both of these stocks behave on any sort of a market reaction to the downside. Google has held up really well, I guess, with this slew of catalysts for the good side that have been coming up recently that helped it take it to the high side. With their whole Gemini demonstration, I'm not really that excited about Google just yet, so I'm always ready to punch the sell key or push the sell key on Google anytime the opportunity shows up. But right now it's being a little resilient, but I think it's gonna start giving up that bottom very soon, especially if the market starts going down, right? If the market start going down, Google's got to start following it very soon. Amazon and Meta and Google, I feel like, are kind of holding up the market. Nvidia was a big reason why the market was being held up, but Nvidia crashing to the downside on Friday. Big down move on Nvidia, on SMCI, on ARM, on AMD. So all the semiconductors pushing to the downside. Nvidia being top 4, top 7 of the QQQ basket, of the S&P 500 basket. Maybe not of the S&P 500, but of the QQQ for sure. So that puts a little bit of a weightage on the overall S&P 500 and on the overall QQQ. But when stocks like META, which are also in that same basket, not really looking to flush as hard as the other ones did, you're not going to see the market get strained as badly. And also Nvidia dropped about 10%, exactly down 10% on Friday. That's triggering SSR, so that means the stock will be a little bit harder to short on Monday, which is tomorrow. Not saying it'll be impossible, it'll be a little bit harder, and waiting to see if we get some awesome long opportunities taking us back to maybe a 800 area, which is $50 away, almost $40, $50 away from here. We would love to see a 750 dip buy opportunity, maybe a 750 breakdown opportunity, but a big smackdown over here on Nvidia before it even ever got to $1,000 marker. Nvidia struggled. We were looking for Nvidia to get to 1,000 on the same time that SMCI was climbing to the north side. SMCI managed to crack that 1K, but Nvidia never really managing to crack that 1K. Now pushing back down, and SMCI could just be the reason that Nvidia did not make it. Nvidia will eventually make it, I think so, but Nvidia sadly giving back quite a bit of a market cap that it's worked so hard to gain. I don't think that we will see Nvidia really going back into 400s, 500s area because people will be looking to buy Nvidia on any sort of dip. At least that's what I think, right? People who missed out on Nvidia on the run from 400 to 800, 400 to 900, they might want to buy up at 500. They might want to buy up at 600. So I'll be waiting patiently to see how the stock behaves on any sort of down moves. If buying starts showing up, I want to jump on that opportunity. Same with ARM. ARM provides chips to the half of these companies in the world. You know, I don't know what electronic device you're using it. If its name's not Apple, or I think even Apple uses ARM chips, honestly. But if it's not, most of the electronic devices around you, if you see an electronic device around you and it has a chip in it, it's 90% a chance that it's made by ARM. Right? So ARM pulling back over here, almost back to the IPO levels, is pretty insane to me. So waiting to see how we can look for a dip buy opportunity. So far, we're just getting a stuff down on ARM every single day. Failure to follow through to the upside is giving you a beautiful short move. And if you are able to capitalize on that, shout out to you, ladies and gentlemen, because I did not look at ARM at all on Friday. That was a clean trend all the way down. Exactly looks like Nvidia. If you pull up the Nvidia chart, looks very much like that, right? But yeah, pretty crazy move over here. Let's go to the next stock on the watch list, or should I say sector on the watch list. It's the Bitcoin sector. Now that the Bitcoin halving is over, or I think should be done, the idea is if the supply gets cut down by half for the mined coins. So mined coins were about 6.15, 6.3 million coins. The half of that, let's round it down, 6 million, half of that 3 million. So if you mined 6 million bitcoins, they're now only 3 million bitcoins. So supply is cut down by half. But does that mean that the demand is cut down by half? Not necessarily. The demand's probably still there or more based on how Bitcoin has been behaving, based on what the analysts have been saying. If you've been listening to the news wires, what the people like the Cathy Woods and the JP Morgan analysts and a bunch of other analysts have been coming out and talking about Bitcoin's possible valuation, everyone's thinking around the 100K or so, which is only realistically 40K away from where we are right now, 40, 50K away from where we are. But that would cause a little bit of a short squeeze. That would cause a little bit of a demand to come in, and with the lack of supply at the moment, that demand coming in right now would be amazing. So watching Bitcoin to see if it would crack down after the whole halving thing that happened recently, or will it start climbing back up to the north side, giving you opportunities on stocks like Coinbase, on MARA, and on IBIT. Mainly I'm watching IBIT because that's the Bitcoin ETF. Bitcoin ETF actually brings in a lot more dollar value traded on the day than Bitcoins themselves. So in reality, the Bitcoin ETF is the new Bitcoin. If you look at it, Bitcoin ETF is the new Bitcoin because people are now much happier to trade Bitcoin through the stock market than they are trading Bitcoin directly. And the amount of sales and buys that happen on IBIT, on BITO and everything, they directly correlate afterwards to Bitcoin. So it's almost like turning around at the moment. So it's a little bit of a weird thing, but at the end of the day, the spot market is the spot market, right? And the spot market is Bitcoin. They should be tracking Bitcoin. The Bitcoin should not be tracking this. I'm not saying it is, but it's just kind of funny that this one's doing more dollar volume than what Bitcoin does on a day or whatever. That's kind of funny. Overall, we'll see if IBIT can continue doing some crazy stuff. Well, I should say if Bitcoin can continue doing some crazy stuff, go back to the north side, burn that all-time highs, run the stops over there, and take us to 100K. In that case, IBIT in these all-time high areas looks very promising. If Bitcoin cracks down, IBIT to the breakdown also looks very promising. So watching the Bitcoin market very closely. I mentioned DXYZ near this $25, $30 area for you. You can see how that $25 area support's coming into play at the moment. We did sadly break that $30 bottom that we were looking for. But now coming back into 25, look, DXYZ fair value could be under $8 for all we know, but we want to see when the stock starts finding some balance, some slowdown. The volume has dropped down drastically. Now we're only at 1 million shares traded on Friday compared to not too long ago where the stock was trading 10 million shares, right? So volume's going back down. That means the spread's going to get ugly again. So DXYZ getting a little almost in the not to trade territory, but if anything crazy happens, we'll watch it. DJT, what a bounce on DJT from that $22 area, right? Beautiful bounce on the $22 area for DJT. And also it had a catalyst. I think the catalyst, if I remember accurately, was that the Truth Social Media came out and said to the or they filed a report to the SEC indicating that there could be some sort of a naked short selling, market manipulation taking place through Citadel and other companies and so on. So if that's the case, you know, obviously the apes would love to see if that's true. If they hear Citadel's name and if they hear short manufacturing and manipulation coming in, they're gonna jump in on this game over here. They're gonna think about running that short squeeze game all over. So right now DJT kind of releasing that catalyst for themselves. They're kind of trying to stir the pot, but we'll see if they can manage to reclaim some of this value. I'm not saying they will be able to. This is a pretty big enough of a reversal on DJT. I don't think we should see it much higher than, honestly, anywhere in the middle of this range. You can see how that anchor VWAP is now pushing back down. They also were supposed to report on earnings and they didn't. They haven't reported on 3 reports in a row. So that's against the law, isn't it? So we'll see what happens over here on DJT in the coming near future. At the moment, beautiful reversal for our friend Donald Trump. Sorry, I should say Truth Social. It's not Donald Trump's stock at all. No, it's not his meme stock. It's a real company. It's Truth Social Media. Whatever. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is basically our watch list for tomorrow. Very short, and like I said, I'm going to only be focusing on the large cap stocks, and mainly I'm going to only be trading Nvidia and Tesla and ARM and AMD. I'm not going to be trading anything else besides that tomorrow, or even for the rest of the week. And for the rest of the week, once we have stocks like Tesla, Meta, Microsoft reporting, Google reporting, then I'll be, you know, really abusing the shit out of these stocks once they start moving around. Boeing's going to be in that basket. So Monday, it's almost like chill out, don't really do anything, calm down, relax, kick your feet back. If there's an opportunity, maybe look for that opportunity. I think there will be some opportunities on stocks like Nvidia, on AMD, on ARM, maybe even the overall market, QQQ and the S&P 500. But I'm gonna stay away from the earnings names tomorrow without a doubt, 100%, because the more important earnings names are coming up throughout the week, and that's where I want to save my mental. I don't want to, you know, unnecessarily lose on Monday and just make my loss back on Tuesday. It's not worth it. It's much easier when you start from zero and you go up, right? It's just easier that way. So I'm going to be saving my mental tomorrow. I'm going to be sitting back, relaxing, maybe not even going to work tomorrow. Screw it. No, I'm joking. I'm going to be going in, but I'm going to be looking for that opportunity on Nvidia, on Netflix. On Netflix was a big dump off of that earnings. So Netflix, on the QQQs and the IWMs and so on. And that right there pretty much is all she wrote for today's stream. A nice little short stream today. Didn't have too much to talk about really. And don't have a big watch list for tomorrow either. And that's why nice little short stream. But there is a little YouTube video over here from Jeff Holden. I think that's what his name was. Jeff Holden. Elite prop traders 4 best techniques. Price action trading like an elite prop trader. 4 killer setups. Maybe we could watch this. You guys want to watch this video with me? And then we can call it a day. 18-minute video, 20-minute video. All right, let's do it.
Trading profits without consistency is meaningless. You're just going to end up losing those profits and going essentially nowhere. And that's why in this video, our head of trader development, Jeff Holden, gives you his 4 best price action trading techniques to build that seemingly elusive trading consistency.
Swim?
I'm Mike Bellafiore, and we're one of the top proprietary trading firms located in New York City since 2005 and proud to develop newer 7 and even
Their earnings
eight-figure
number
career
were
traders.
fine.
Watch,
Netflix, I'm guessing
take
you mean
notes,
Netflix.
and
Yeah, they
learn
were,
from the
but they got
leader of our
smoked.
trader development program on our desk so you can grow your trading account.
We think price action trading is so important because markets shift. They shift frequently. And when they shift, a lot of times traders who are trading a specific strategy, they won't be able to make that adjustment. The trade will start to look like it's going to work, and then it'll start to work, and then it won't follow through. Or even worse, it'll trigger your entry and then immediately stop you out. As markets shift,
What a
strategies
bright contrast. What a big contrast from this guy's screen. There isn't a single inch unused on his monitor. There isn't a single inch unused on his monitor. Okay? Every inch is used. He's got a IRC channel here of some sort. He's got Bloomberg terminal. He's got position watching. He's got Discord. He's got Benzinga or more news terminal, another news terminal, another news terminal, trade ideas, level 2, news scanner, trading view.
then it won't follow through. Or even worse, it'll trigger your entry and then
immediately this guy just has open land everywhere. Free real estate.
Immediately stop you out. As markets shift, the strategies that you're going to use shift or need to shift along with it. One strategy that winds up being a really good trading strategy is just straight up price action trading. What you're doing with price action trading is you're actually trading against what's happening with the price action. So you're using a combination of the levels, you're using a combination of the price action to, the psychology of the traders that are involved there to provide yourself with trading opportunities over and over. We had a really good conversation yesterday with the trader. I'll call him Ice. He's a trader on our desk, and he was really struggling because recently he recognized that the market was sort of shifting. He recognized that the strategies that he's been using for the last couple months just really stopped setting up. And again, like we said, even worse, they would, when they did set up, which was much less frequently than it was before, they would trigger and he would get in and he would feel this sense of urgency to take advantage of the opportunity because he hadn't seen it in a while. And he would oversize it, or really it felt like he was undersized, but it was kind of oversized relative to the opportunity. So he put himself in this really tough position. And what we're talking about today is price action trading is an opportunity to just take a step back and let the opportunity come back to you. Take a step back and really get back into that flow of just being a trader. So armed with these price action skills, we're going to talk about 4 strategies here that you can use, 4 trades that you can use that are pure price action based trading. You can really put yourself in a nice position. So we're going to jump right into it. Our very first example is going to be right on the open. And all we're using is the price action that's available here. This is a 1-minute chart. As you can see, we have this really distinct area of resistance that's available. This is the pre-market, but really distinct area of resistance. When price trades up to that level, what are we going to think about? Well, we're going to think about, can it get above that level? And one of the trades that's really fast in our playbook is an up through the open. So you move up into a resistance level and then you come back down through the opening price. If the setup is right, you can take advantage of that. You can short down through the opening price with your stop right above the highs from the open.
Breakout, the pre-market low
we
breakout.
have this up through the open triggered. So we enter on that break, our stop goes above the high. And remember, you're just trading the price action here. So if it gets below that low, what are we looking for? We're looking for continuation to the downside. Okay, we're getting continuation to the downside.
This looks like
we're trailing our stop all the way down very, very quickly because this is just a price action trade. When you get a little flush out like that, you can take some of the trade off. You're just trading the price action. You're just trading the back and forth. All we're doing is capitalizing on the opportunity that's being presented by the market. We're not turning this into some big giant trade. We're just moving back and forth. When price then breaks this level, we're already onto our second trade here, by the way. When price breaks this level to the downside, the pre-market low, we can start to pay attention to what's happening. How are we responding to that pre-market support area? Again, price action trading. We're trading the price against the prior price, right? What are the participants involved doing? Well, we had a little failure there. Does that mean we have a trade? Not necessarily. We don't really have the setup, but we definitely recognize that the sellers were selling at that area, below that prior support area. Now it's resistance. So what do? Do we chase it down? No, that's not actually a trade. What can we do though? We can wait. If this turns into a consolidation, that creates an opportunity for us. If this turns into a consolidation below the key area that was support, now resistance, that turns into an even bigger opportunity. So we're going to wait and we're going to see, do we get an opportunity to enter this trade, or are we just guessing that we've got something here?
Yeah.
So let's wait and see and look for an opportunity to enter a trade, an opportunity to be presented for us based on the price action. If you're hitting here worried about maybe this is just going to keep going lower and it's going to miss me, are you really in the right position? No, you're not. So you need to allow the price action to give you an entry, to give you a trade. We talk about this over and over and over again. Let the trade come to you. And trading is so much better when it's coming to you. But now let's pay attention to the price action, because what happens here will dictate so much of what we can do. Because if we keep going higher, are you going to want to short here? No, we need to see the price action shift in our favor in order to take advantage of the opportunity. Now we have a shift. Now we have our second trade, which would be a short, ideally against basically that resistance area from before, and we've entered on the break lower. We had a distinct change in volume, so now we're looking for more of that continuation to the downside. Now we allowed the price action to give us an entry. We were able to see the way that the sellers really stepped in with aggression, and that gives us a very distinct area to enter our trade. It gives us a very distinct stop as well. So now we're just straight price action trading. This is a lot like scalping, but if you notice, that's pretty much a hitchhiker scalp. And if you don't know what a hitchhiker scalp is, you should definitely check out some of the cheat sheets that we've done. But this is a straight up hitchhiker version of a hitchhiker scalp. So now we're just sitting with the trade and we're looking for potentially another wave lower. We're looking for another wave lower because the sellers were so much in control of the price action. So as we start to see this drive lower, what are we going to do? We're going to pay attention. We're going to watch the price action. We're going to put ourselves in a potential position to allow price to move lower in the trade. We're trading the price action. We're trading the way price is responding to itself. If we don't go lower, what do? Well, you just exit the trade. The sellers are not in control anymore. Giving ourselves a lot of freedom here, a lot of luxury to just kind of get a sense for how this stock is really going to be trading on the day. We don't have to come in and predict what the bigger picture trend is going to be, especially if that bigger picture trend isn't just going to play out. It can be really frustrating because if you're coming in and thinking, I'm going to catch this giant move, and it doesn't follow through, you're missing the little nuances that we're talking about here that give you really good risk reward and really high probability opportunities. In certain tapes, it's so important to just go to those high probability, really good risk reward opportunities and risk an appropriate amount of your daily stop. Based on the psychology of the sellers and that volume that came in, we should expect a continuation move to the downside. So we're looking for that clue that we're getting continuation to the downside. What would be a change? Well, if we have a really distinct move back higher, then we would have to question, are we going to get that continuation to the downside, or do we just exit our trade? We can move our stop down even, because now we have this period of consolidation, and we shouldn't really get much above that area. But again, we're price action trading. So as these candles develop, we can really start to get a sense for, we should be going lower here. We saw that little moment where the buyers tried to step in and then the sellers stepped in. So what should happen? We should get continuation to the downside. The sellers should be in control. One of the hardest things to do is just sit back when you're in a trade and watch and listen to the price action. Let the price action be your guide. A big part of that is setting the appropriate expectations for what is happening and what should be happening. Now, what should have happened right here? You're probably thinking, well, we should have gone lower, right? We had that little failure. We had that little consolidation, and now we should be going lower. Okay, we're getting a little follow through. We're seeing the volume increase. We're starting to see the price action move to the downside. We're getting exactly what we wanted. Do we have any reason to exit the position based on risk reward or anything else? No. We're just trading the price action. This is one of the best ways to develop a feel for the tape, is taking the expectations off of yourself and just trading the price action. What should be happening next here? We should get that little pop, and then we should see the sellers continue to drive lower. But let's take a step back and look at the bigger context of the trade. How many waves lower have we attempted? We had that first really big flush lower, and then we had that second more gradual one. So we're at the point where the sellers are not getting rewarded in the way that they expect it to be. Have the sellers lost? No. Do we have a reason to really, truly exit our trade to the short side? We're getting pretty close right now. But the bigger picture context here is we're trading the price action against what the expectations are. At this point, we don't have a reason to be short anymore. The buyers are stepping in. The sellers that we expected to be there weren't following through. Do we have a reason to get long? Should we just flip our position and get long because of that? No. We still need a trade to set up for us. price action trading in general is essentially a conversation.
That'd be
And imagine
crazy,
a party,
though.
imagine a
Just
party
flip
that
that
all the
trade
room gets
halfway
sealed off, right? So
to
all
a
the
short
participants
to
that are
a
going to be
long.
in that party are already there. What types of conversations do you think go on? Well, it probably depends a little bit on how much people are drinking, but in general, it's probably a relatively fixed number of conversations that any group of participants would have. You know, they probably start with some common themes, and then they get into some interesting stories about each person. But the reality is that group is capable of a certain amount of conversations. They'll have some variety, but for the most part, that's pretty fixed. Trading price action is essentially making a bet that on this stock in this day, this scope of what we're capable of doing is probably about what we're capable of doing. We're probably not going to wind up in some random place, like occasionally maybe you would, but for the most part, we're going to wind up with a price action, the group of participants that are trading the stock today being relatively fixed. So when we swing too far in one direction, like we just saw those sellers try and step all the way back down, and they weren't getting rewarded. So who would we think would get rewarded next? Well, it wouldn't be the sellers. So we're looking for an opportunity to go long with the buyers. We could take this for a backside scalp.
I'm not flipping
We
that.
could enter right there as we break the high of the range, because again, the
not
sellers didn't get
flipping
rewarded.
that.
Our stop would be right below that higher low, and we'd be targeting VWAP. That's a very straightforward
There's
trade that we're just
barely
looking for
anything
the
there
opportunity
for a
based on the
VWAP
price action.
move.
We can exit our trade here, but here's something that
That's
you'll
a
see really good
coin
traders do,
flip. That's a
particularly when they're price action
50-50
trading.
coin flip where like, okay, it could go back here or it could go back here. Yeah, the seller's not there right now, but what if it just goes there and the seller comes back? Then you just got stopped out, barely made any money on the short, barely made any money on the long, and fast lost on the long. And even then, it's a 50-50 coin flip. The distance between from here to VWAP, from here to the low a day is not that much. Don't like this trade.
They will immediately be thinking about what the next trade is. We get this question so often of, well, when you're trading well, what do you do? Do you stop? No, traders for the most part, especially on our desk, are just thinking about what the next trade is. And already we're seeing something called a fashionably late scalp. This is where we have that little drive lower, and then we start to see the 90 EMA converge. We're seeing that 90 EMA cross VWAP. That would be your entry point. Our entry point would be right there, the 90 EMA crossing VWAP. We would be looking for to risk down to here, you know, basically a third of the range, and we would be looking for about a third of that, the range from VWAP to the low of day to the upside. So as we get this extension into this resistance area, as we zoom in, we can watch the price action. As we explode or try and push through that resistance area, what's actually happening? How's the stock responding to that? Is it responding in a way that's showing us buyers are still in control? No. As soon as we see those sellers start to step in,
How
that can be
people
our reason
watch
to
a
exit this
video
trade.
and
Again,
get
we're just price action
smoked,
trading.
exactly.
We're trading the price against itself. When it comes up into that area of potential resistance, we can exit the trade and look
If
for
people do
potentially a
this
different
on
trade. Now,
random
some would argue that there's a
stocks,
very
they
good
get
short there into
so
that resistance area,
smoked.
and I would agree, but let's jump into an even better short, a better
The stock
continuation short.
clearly doesn't
So
have a
the better
trend
continuation short
on
is going
the
to
day
come
at all.
into play here. And what we're really
Then
going to focus on is what
he's
should
talking
happen.
about a
Right now, what should happen?
continuation
We saw buyers
short,
step in at
the stock
VWAP.
just reversed and
The
it
buyers should be
held
able to push the price
VWAP
higher.
to the
They are
high
not able to
side,
push the price
and now
higher.
it's
That
settling
tells us
back
the
through
price action.
VWAP
What is
after
happening? The sellers
testing
are
the
in
high
control.
day.
So now we can enter short and look for our stop to be right here above the price action high where those sellers were stepping in. We can enter short looking for continuation to the downside. Why are we doing that? It's very simply, the buyers tried to step in right here and we're not able to. So now we're just looking for continuation to the downside. So let's pay attention to this again. Let's watch as the buyers try to step in here. You can see the buyers try and step in. You can see price trying to lift. You can see every time we push down, we're met with buying pressure. But notice we're not able to go any higher. Right there is a moment where we can pay attention to it. And we can say, all right, my stop would be right above here. And I would look for continuation to the downside, entering somewhere in this candle, looking for the sellers to maintain control. Again, all that happened was the buyers got a little maybe over-eager to the upside into a resistance area, and now we're seeing the selling, you know, we're participating on the right side of the V, as we like to say. We're finding an opportunity based on the price action, based on the way that the stock is trading. What would we look for on the downside? We would look for continuation. And
I'm glad the video is almost over because I gotta start going downstairs.
And because it's a trade that it's showing that the sellers are in control, we're going to look for an opportunity where the sellers lose control to exit our trade. You know, this may seem like a lot of just back and forth, and it is. But sometimes that back and forth trading, we've talked about 4 trades, even if you took only 2 of them, and you allocated an appropriate amount of risk, maybe 5% or 10% of your daily stop. Think about what you've done for yourself over this very simple trading day.
I don't know about this
First of all,
one,
you're taking the
Holden.
expectation away from this being a giant day
I don't know
that you
about
are going to
this
take
one, chat.
full advantage of a giant opportunity. A lot of trading days are not those days. A lot of trading days are just trading the price action that is showing up for us. So when you pick a good in-play stock and you see that it's moving around, we just covered 4 very distinct trades that you can make, that you will see in stocks over and over. You'll see the up through the open.
I'll give it to you. I think
You'll see the overextension to the downside. You'll see the hitchhiker
We don't
to the
have
downside.
content. What should we
That
make? Let's
continuation
just
sort
make
of play.
a random
You'll
price
see the
action
backside.
video on how
You'll
to
see the
trade
fashionably
range.
late. You'll see that kind
But
of
I guess if you caught
continuation
even
push.
one of those, if you caught
You'll
the
see a
short
fast
from
move
the
into
high
resistance
or the
area
short
and then
from
a
the
distinct
open, or
failure.
the long from the
And then you'll
bottom,
also
you
see
caught one
a
of those,
fashionably late
that
back
would have
to the
made
downside.
sense. But doing all of those
This is the way
on one
stocks
stock
move
throughout
so
the day,
And when you understand how to
Louder,
capitalize
fast.
on the small movements in a stock, and you understand on the nuances
And
of
the
what
fact
to
that
look
the stock's
for
even
to
just
price
trading
action
sideways like
trade,
that was just a bad stock.
you can put
to show
yourself
an
in a
example
really
on.
good position
But he
over
showed
and
you
over
4
and over
examples
again to just add P&L.
on
Let
how
opportunities
to
show up
use
for you.
on a stock.
Let opportunities fall
And if
into
it
your
sets
lap.
up,
Take
you can
advantage
play
of those
with it.
opportunities
How
over
to
and
look
over.
for that play, how to look for
It's
that
a
action.
great best practice as markets are shifting
The off the
to
open
just get a
makes
feel
sense.
for that back and
The
forth
later on
trading.
after the open where it breaks down and consolidates makes sense. The move through VWAP to a new high day or the same high day, if it holds VWAP after crossing through VWAP, that one makes sense. That one's something that you could cruise in the middle of the day. And then later on, after it goes through the VWAP, goes into the new high day and kind of stalls into a new high day, you can kind of look for that. There was realistically only one trend continuation, but you wouldn't even call it a trend continuation because that was the off the open play. I guess 2 kind of trend continuations. Off the open, not really a trend continuation. You're just catching the opening drive. The trend continuation kind of where you're going long at the after the stock flushes off the open, holds the bottom, shows you a clear hold, and then starts reversing. One long over there, and then you add to your position or you start your long at the VWAP into the new high a day. That's kind of the trend continuation. But if the stock is, going back to VWAP, going into a new high a day, and you're trying to short the high a day, you're kind of doing the opposite of catching falling knives on the long side. You're just trying to catch the top, and that one's a little bit of a higher skill level trade. You're waiting for real signals to show up that the move that it's continued. If a stock usually reclaims VWAP and starts going to the high side and actually has a strong trend to do that, very rarely does it come back, right? So you're trying to catch the counter trend trade, so you got to be careful for those. Overall, a decent video. It is good setups, I guess, in a way of how to use price action, but using that video on the same stock on the same thing might give people the wrong idea about it. So that's what I kind of found negative about it overall. But if you split them up, kind of look for what he's telling you for each single setup, and how could you find each single setup on maybe different times of the day on different stocks and so on. That is a little bit valuable. I do like that aspect. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is basically all she wrote for today. I don't think I have time for chess, sadly, so I will have to call it here. Ladies and gentlemen, nice little short stream. Although it's been 50 minutes, a nice little 50-minute stream for us. We got to watch a SMB video. We got to talk about all things in the store for all this week. Lots of earnings names. So make sure you come back every single day, Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. We will be dissecting every single earnings name, finding out how the reports did. We'll make some plays for them. We're going to look for the charting levels, and we're going to have a lot of fun throughout that whole process. So Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m., come hang out with your boy TraderPrad. Sunday, 6 p.m. Until then, I gotta head out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. TraderPrad out. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I almost forgot to say hit the like and subscribe. All my sponsors, affiliate sponsors, links are right down below. TraderSync, Trade Ideas, and Benzinga. Almost forgot Benzinga over there. TraderSync, Trade Ideas, and Benzinga. Check out my social media links, Discord, Twitter, and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. I'm actually going to be very active on Instagram. I spent a good time on my day today cutting up my streams into little long form videos for TikTok and Instagram and so on. So I'm going to be posting one clip a day at the very least. So go check me out on Instagram. Follow me on TraderPrad. I'm going to be very active on all those. I'm going to go hang out with my family a little bit. You guys probably should go do the same. Have a great night. Have an even better time in the market tomorrow. Catch you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. I'm out. Good night. Love you. Ciao. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, TraderSync, promo code down below, promo code Prad15 to get 15 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, Trader Prad out. Adios.